Raising with the pen, I'm learning life. My face is divine, words inspire with perfect time. Nurtured right, them man there be learning lines, rehearsing life. Trust me, far from certified. Acting while you sleep, I'm working nights. I want all the ups to feel like that yearning guy on Merseyside.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another review, another video, another win. Not the most convincing of performances. I'll be real. At halftime, I was very surprised that we even ended it 1-0 up. But big up to Kepa because he finally got tested. Finally. And he also passed the test with flying colours. Brilliant performance from him. Man of the match by a fucking mile. And yeah, it's good to see. It might be the real Kepa finally turning up. I know Matt's going to be on his bullshit later today. And you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Let the guy cook. I don't even care what shameless bullshit he comes up with. Let the guy cook. But big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. Let me know you guys' thoughts on the game. Let me know what you guys want to discuss. Plenty to go into in today's stream. It probably won't be the most positive. I will say that because we have a hard time even being positive on this stream when we win convincingly, let alone when we win playing like that. So, yeah, brace yourselves. But what wasn't the best performances? Just glad to see that we came out with 3 points. Big up Potter for the game management because his substitutions were a big reason as to why we left Villa Park with 3 points. But other than that, it weren't really a lot to flex. Big up everyone that has locked in, though. Smash the like and subscribe button on your way into the stream. If you guys want to get a chance to win this beautiful Chelsea away kit that we seem to just keep winning in, drop any super chat in the comments section. Any amount, it will get you into the lottery with a chance of winning this kit. Anything over £5 or $5 or whatever currency you lot use, will be 2 tickets. Anything above 10 will be 4. So any super chat, any amount, plus it guarantees your comment gets read out as well. So if you guys want a chance, check it out. We're running this until the end of the month, so get involved in the lottery. If you do want to just buy this at an affordable price, Jerseys FC are down in the description below for all your best affordable high quality kits. Use the code CarefreeLewisG to get 20% off. And yeah, check out Flawless's tune, Prayer for the Ops, down in the description below. And let's get into it. Big up everybody that has locked in. Apologies for the lateness. Had to do a video for Chelsea Fan TV, but we're here. Big up everybody. Melina says, at the start of the season, you wanted a new backup keeper. No need for that because Kepa's the GOAT. Hey, Kepa did brilliantly. It was good to see reaction saves from him. Multiple reaction saves in quick time as well. I think he had 3 in a row that he had to deal with, and he handled them brilliantly. Point blank header from Danny Ings. And yeah, brilliant performance from him. Brilliant performance. Do I say we still need a new backup keeper? Yes, because we don't know what Mendy we're going to see for the rest of the season. And so I still want to see if Kepa keeps this up for a long period of time. I do want to still see that. But now he has secured that number 1 spot for me. There's no debate over whether you bring Mendy back into the squad. Do you give Kepa another run of games? No. Play Kepa through at least till the end of the month. Because he deserves it. Massively deserves it for the way he's been playing. Thomas, I'm going to ignore that because I don't even know if that's true or not. What else did everyone say? Shai Havertz popped up at Villa. Sure, I don't even know what you mean by that. Harrison, this is an unbelievable shout, by the way. I might have to run it. I'm going to give it to after the Man United game because it would be good to get Flawless on after that anyway because we could at least discuss the game too. But yeah, if he still stinks by then, which I wouldn't hold my breath about, yeah, we'll do that because we've been trying to find a way to bring back Agenda FC anyway. We'll definitely bring that one back. Deal's just saying a lot. We'll do that when we get to the panel because yeah. I said don't bring no. Matt is welcome on today. He can run all the prop that he wants. I don't give a shit. He can run all the prop that he wants. we've got a better keeper than that. You got Alisson. Like, I would hope he would be. Alisson was the keeper we were meant to be getting, and then Marina got stingy, overpaying 70 million for a goalkeeper. Said fuck off to that. Courtois then forced his way out the club, and then we had to pay that money for Kepa anyway. So you lot just got lucky we had Marina in charge. Big up Charlie James, big up Noah, Fraser, Luca, Axie, Jojo, Fraser again, Thomas, Ilias. Big up everybody locked in here. Bro, the song, have I been doing it for 3 months? I like that. I don't know why, but I didn't expect it to be that long. That's mad. Bro, I can't spit. And if I did spit, I'd do a Havertz diss track. But yeah, no, I can't rap. I need a songwriter to be able to do that. But yeah, get me to 50k and maybe we'll do a rap. Raise the mood or something. Give us an early Brentford. I don't want to after that game. I don't want to. Because people say we're being negative. We didn't play well. That first half was shocking from us. There was nothing up top. Nothing in the middle. We were getting bypassed like a hot knife through butter. And we just got saved by Kepa. Even both the goals, like, big up Mason Mount, because Mason Mount is finally turning up and he's showing consistency throughout a game. Not just G&A and disappearing. He's showing regular consistency. Both those goals were handed to us on a silver platter, though. Like, that fucking Mings header to Mason Mount is like a Zuma-level bozo moment that I've seen. And the second goal, Sanchez's positioning was dog shit. And I didn't deep it until I watched more of the replays. From where I was sitting, I thought it was a banger. I thought, raw, Mason Mount can take free kicks, you know. I ain't seen him take one and score one since, I think, Wolves in 2020. But he hit straight in the middle and the keeper was just all over the place. All over the place. So we did get lucky in terms of that. But Mason Mount's performance overall was still brilliant. I thought work rate was there as usual, but he was beating players more. He was much more aware and switched on. Like the reactions for the first goal. At least he was aware of the ball coming to him and he was able to handle that situation accordingly. But overall, wasn't a great performance. Really wasn't. And it could have easily been a different scoreline. Easily could have been. We need a discussion on Shy Havertz and Sterling shooting. Oh, that's what you meant by it. Bro, Havertz I've been saying is dog shit. And it just seems like people are finally starting to realize it. Fair enough. I've been here for 6 months, but welcome to the party. We have zubbies, we have cookies, we have alcohol. We got everything you need to enjoy yourself and to make it through a 90-minute game with Havertz starting. But it is what it is. We already know he's crap. I don't know what more to tell you than what you already know. Sterling, like, we know what his finishing's about. He wasn't good. He looked better in the second half when we put him in a position further forward. But, yeah, in the first half, he wasn't great. I will say, like, just make that the first and last game we ever see Sterling play right wing back in. Is what it is. Sterling wasn't good. But the reason why I don't have the same energy for Sterling is because I know what he's capable of. I know you give him enough chances, he will score. I know he can beat players well. His decision-making can be very inconsistent, and there are frustrating parts to it. But we know the quality of the player. We know what he is capable of. So I feel like I can be more patient with Sterling as a result. Havertz is a bum. If it weren't for that open goal in Porto, he'd be one of the worst signings. He would be recognised as one of the worst signings in Chelsea history. And if he doesn't pick up his form before the end of the season and he leaves, he will be one of the worst signings in Chelsea history. So to me, it's different energy from Havertz to Sterling. But neither were great. Neither were great. Even Aubameyang was a bit arse. Like, he barely got any touches. Had to drop deep to even get touches of the ball. It was just not there. Not there at all. But progressively, we weren't great anyway. We weren't great. Yes, Matt definitely will be extra hard. But we move. We move. What else is everybody saying? Shaq says, bro, why the hell? Here's the thing. I'm not gunning at Potter for this. Because Potter doesn't have favourites. And that's one of the reasons why I rate him. Tuchel would have started him every game this season. Havertz didn't start either of the Milan games. And he didn't start against, what's this called? Villa. I mean, he came off at half-time against Villa. Potter is willing to take him off if he's shit. He's willing to not start him because we have better players in form. So I don't really mind about this. Why is Havertz still starting? If he does start on Wednesday, because he did come off at half-time, play him for the full 90. Run him into the fucking ground. Because I do not want to see him start against United. It's as simple as that. I will stomach him starting against Brentford if it means he doesn't start against United. Because we have to rotate. Like, our hands are going to be tired with that at a certain point. Broja has to start too, though. I don't mind if you do this 2 up top thing, or if you play him off the striker, or just whatever. He's going to be dog shit anyway. But I don't care if they both play. Broja has to start, but play Havertz if you want against Brentford. It's the United game where I don't want to see him sniff the pitch. So as long as he doesn't do that, I'm fine. I'm fine. What else is there wrong? Chilwell, worst signing ever for... What? Well, we literally employed Lukaku and Havertz still. Like, what are we talking about? Chilwell, like, I know his game management's going to be arse because he's barely played for like a year. And his performance wasn't good enough either. He was getting cooked on that left-hand side, him and Cucurella. But I don't know what we can do on that regard. I still think Chilwell as our rotation option is better than having Alonso as our rotation. Hell, I saw Alonso revisionism on the timeline yesterday, and I had to take a minute off my phone because it was like, we had this fraud 4 months ago. We knew how shit he was. And now you're saying you wish he was here. No. I know Chilwell has not looked good. I know he hasn't. I would still rather him every day beginning with a Y over Marcus Alonso. So, like, I'm not here for it. Like, I know Chilwell wasn't good, but I kept saying, even when he came back in May, this recovery from the ACL is going to take longer than people are going to be patient for. Just be happy with the fact that we have Cucurella as a rotation option, and he can start over him because he's better. Even though Cucurella was arse yesterday. As a player, like, he would be better than Chilwell is right now. So I don't need the energy for someone who's just going to be on the bench in our biggest games. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh shit. Again, I'm like 10 minutes behind. Big up my fellow 3-point collector for the week, you shameless guy. You shameless guy. Big up yourself, Ryan, though. Big up every time. I rate Mendy, but those contract talks are going to be sticky. Yeah, let it be sticky, because Mendy will get opportunities to bring his form back. If he can prove himself in those moments, cool, talk about a contract. Although, I don't know, because you have to give Mendy Kepa's wages. I don't even want Kepa on Kepa's wages. So then do you end up selling Kepa next season, but you can't sell Kepa? I don't know. Potter's going to have his work cut out for him in terms of what he does with our goalkeeping situation. Because if he keeps Kepa, whoever we replace him with has to realistically be starting over Kepa. Because you're not paying 150k to one bench warmer. Again. Like, we're not doing that again. So then what do we do? Do you bring someone who's of a lower quality than Kepa on the same wages? No. I don't know. I don't know how they figure that one out, but they're going to have to find a way to figure it out. Thanks, Marina, for giving him 150k a week. Jem thinks Havertz is good enough. I prefer really not to speak. If you can't accept the fact he's crap by now, you just never will. It's fine. It's fine. Hit the likes, by the way. We've got over 200 of you lot in here. We haven't even got 50. No, we haven't even got 100 likes. So hit the like button. Done with that. Sorry, I turned into a coffee head over the last few weeks. Of course he was. Of course he was. And let him. He deserves it. He deserves it. Mount 2 goals and 4 assists in the last 3 games. This is the thing for me. Because both have been ripped apart since the start of the season. One got 1 goal and started shushing the Chelsea fans. And then got 0 GNA for the next 5 games. Meanwhile, another one took ages for him to get on the GNA tally. But as soon as he did, he's outdone Havertz in 2 games. That's the difference for me. Consistency. Like, Mason Mount has turned it around. No one should be criticizing him anymore. Nobody should be. But Havertz, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, big up. Another clean sheet. Oh, that was only for Kepa, by the way, because everyone in that defense was poor. Like, Chalobah and Silva were the two better players out of the defense, but everybody was sloppy in that first half. Everybody was. Like, Kepa did really well to keep us at 1-0. Did really well. Talk about Kante. Looks like L'Equipe said Kante will be gone for free and Chelsea will sign 2 midfielders. I did see that. If he's going for free, all that says to me is that Kante didn't want to take 1+1 or 2+1. And if that's the case, thank you for the memories, Kante. Thank you for everything you've done for us. You leave as a Chelsea legend. I will never, ever speak badly about your time at the club. But the time has come. Let him leave with his head held high. We can give Kante a brilliant send-off, a send-off that a legend of his caliber deserves. But it is what it is. I ain't going to lose sleep over it. Because if Kante's going for free, it means they couldn't negotiate. And that means Kante didn't like the terms that were offered. Because we would have given him 1+1, 2+1. If he wanted that, we would have given that to him. I refuse to believe that we wouldn't. This whole thing says to me we didn't give Kante what he specifically wanted and he weren't willing to compromise. So if that's the case, thank you for everything. Best of luck in the rest of your career. We will move on and hopefully Kante will too. I ain't going to slag him off or anything for it. I don't agree with those terms, but I do think he's like looking for his last big contract. And if that's the case, fair play to him. Fair play to him. Do what you got to do. Look out for yourself, but we got to look out for ourselves too. And a 3+1 year deal is not good for us. Not good at all. So, fair enough. Fair enough. I've got nothing to say if he wants to leave. Yeah, next season's home kit looks wavy. 11-12 regen coming back. I loved that kit, by the way. One of my favorites. One of my personal favorites. Need to find that kit, by the way. It's been ages. Ages. Big up Stephen Daly. Love for the love, my guy. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Havertz is shit, but can we talk about Sterling? He hasn't been good the last few games. We can have that conversation. And he needs to fix up. He really does, because we are relying heavily on Sterling for this season. So, I don't know where or how he turns it around. I think from what I think, he's just one of those players who has those phases. Like, he'll be consistent, pop up with G&A every now and then disappear. He's a frustrating player. That's why City fans are frustrated with him. Because the standard's still high. The reason why I don't say that much is because we'll have players that have much longer patches of poor form without the quality that Raheem Sterling possesses. So, Sterling does have to improve. I only really hold him accountable for the second half because first half he was playing right wing back and he just isn't one. I get we're struggling for options there because Reece James is out, but he ain't a right wing back. Can't really say too much about that. His finishing does need to be better. We know his finishing's frustrating. It is what it is. We have to play him back into that form. That's the way I see it with Sterling, because we know his quality. Even though he's been poor the last few games, we're not going to blind ourselves to the fact that he is still a very quality player. He's just in bad form and he needs to play himself out of it. But right now, I have the confidence that he can do it. It's just sooner rather than later, Raheem. Please, hurry up. Yeah. We did underrate Villa a little bit. For me, I said the defensive work was going to be where we found our issues. And going forward, they would let themselves down. And it was completely the opposite. Going forward, they were a major problem for us, especially on our left-hand side. So, yeah, I hold my hands up. Villa are a lot tougher to deal with going forward than I gave credit for. And, yeah, they gave us a very hard job. I said, what did you eat today? I haven't even eaten yet. Remember on Seamus in February, you asked me what do I think of how this... If you said that, fair enough. You were ahead of the curve before I was. It took me to, I think, the Man United away game where I was just like, yo, this guy's shit, you know. Yeah, he's not even just inconsistent. He's just crap. So fair enough. You got there before I did. Fair enough. Fair enough, my guy. So basically, Sterling equals Werner. No. We're not, man's doing the Werner 2.0 argument again. Bro, Werner couldn't lace Sterling's boots, bruv. He doesn't have the ball control, the dribbling ability, maybe the positional awareness, even the finishing. Sterling's still a better finisher than Werner. It's just he's not playing well. His end product hasn't been good the last few games, and we will still hold him accountable for that. But I know the quality of the player. I don't think he's going to be like this until the World Cup or something, for instance. Fucking God forbid. God forbid. Give Werner enough chance. He does. No. Give Werner enough chances. He'll still miss them. The only thing I'll say as well is still, he is a better footballer than Werner. He has a better touch. He has better dribbling. He has better passes. He has better chance creation. As an overall player, he is better. That's why this Werner 2.0 argument is arse. It is arse. But wait, why am I arguing with a guy called Proud Mickey Mountate? What's the fucking point? What's the point? I just deeped that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Big up Flawless, my G. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, my guy. Agenda FC on Havertz next week, by the way. We'll run a date, but what are you telling me? Because I just got that idea from Harrison in the comments. I think that's a very good shout. We'll run it. We'll get Johnny on, and we'll get Jem on, and let's hear waffle. Let me hear waffle, man. I will get my Nutella. I'll get my fucking honey and all the other little fucking waffle condiments, and we'll listen to some waffle. Had Sterling buried that chance, though, we'd be applauding Havertz for the assist and his use of strength to shake off 2 challengers. Yes, but I'd still be saying Havertz played poorly because he didn't do anything other than that. And he still got hooked at half-time. So I don't think it would have changed too much. It would just give me one thing to praise Havertz for in that first half. His overall performance was crap. Just lost the ball numerous times. It was barely around, barely even pressing. It was dog shit. Well, fuck you, bruv. We're not even doing that. We're not fucking doing that, bruv. $9.99 to join the Kepa fan club. Yes. Pay your subscriptions straight to this channel to join the Kepa fan club. Pay it straight to this channel. Yeah. Let's see. What else does everyone say? I said, bruv, bum v bum, bruv. What were you even debating that shit? Uncomfortable conversations need to be asked about Kova. To me, the only midfielder who gets a pass from the fans. Kova was probably the worst out of the pivot, really. But I thought he was the one making more risk-taking passes. They just weren't really coming to fruition. But yeah, he weren't playing well. He didn't play well. But he played well against AC Milan. He played well both games against AC Milan. Didn't play against Wolves. Palace was poor. Like, it's the same thing with Mount, really. Same thing as Mount. And we're praising Mount. Same thing as Ruben. And we're praising Ruben. So, like, what uncomfortable conversations? I'm not sure. Like, he didn't play well. But I don't think we're questioning Kovacic's ability or anything like that. I don't think we are. But if there's questions... What are the questions, Pokudoku? Tell me. What are the questions? There was a super chat. Sorry, I've only just seen this now. Ollie, yeah. Last few games, I don't think he's been playing well. End product's not been great. Still beating players, still drawing fouls, but it's not really been as good as the Sterling that we've seen from the start of the season. And he does need to kick on a lot more. But I'm a lot more patient with Sterling than the other players. I know his quality, and it is still Sterling's first season. I told you, I don't prescribe to this PL-proven bollocks. It's about different systems, about being able to adapt to them. So for Sterling, I'll give him time. I don't care. I'll give him time. But he does have to improve and fast. Otherwise, he does need to be dropped more consistently. But yeah, he hasn't been good the last few games. Hasn't. Someone asked what's Havertz done for the club. That's it. He scored an open goal in Porto. And, yeah, penalty in Abu Dhabi. And that's it. That's it, really. Couple headers. I keep saying, what's the difference between Havertz and Morata? What is the difference? Both wear the number 29. Both are shit at 1v1s. Semi-decent link-up play. They can head the ball. They dive a lot. They complain a lot. What's the difference? No difference. He's good, just know you play. Again, I will ask this question to the comment section. Because no one ever answers this question to me. No one on the streams, no one on the chat. What does he bring you on the ball consistently? I will wait. I will wait. If anything, let me scroll through all the way to the bottom of this comment section. And yeah, let me see. Let me see. Tell me what you think he brings on the ball. Because what I think he brings is road running and diving. That's about it. Yeah, Koulibaly, the subs in general from Graham Potter were unbelievable. And they helped us solidify the game for us. Jorginho came on. We brought back control of the midfield. I won't say too much. Koulibaly came on and there was much less of a threat on that right-hand side. The same side we were struggling with because Leon Bailey was fucking cooking us. Gallagher came on, gave us defensive and offensive energy. Should have got an assist too. And yeah, all the subs are brilliant for us. All the subs are brilliant for us. Let me scroll through quickly because again, I'm 10 minutes behind on this comment. Deals, again, stop waffling and just tell me what he offers. Tell me what he offers on the ball. And without using the words work rate or distance or running. Without those words. Again, guys, if you don't like what I'm saying, please, fuck off. Please, I'm begging you, fuck off from my stream. Like, it would give me a lot of peace of mind. It's cool. Or just tell me, by the way. Tell me. I still need to stroll down because, fuck. Bro, I'm that far behind. Sorry, guys, I'm just skipping all the way to the bottom. Because there's another super chat. Time for some minutes for Zakaria and Chukwuemeka. Where, though? Where? Because every game still must win for us. So I don't know how we find a position for them to play. If we were playing like 1-2 games a week, well, if we weren't playing 3 games a week this consistently, I think maybe we would be able to shoehorn them into a game or two. But I don't know where. Usually we'd have more Carabao Cup games at this point. We would have had 1 or 2 by now, which would have meant that we were able to rotate and at least try them out. But we don't have that. And we were so shit at the start of our Champions League run. This game's probably only going... I mean, we're probably taking this whole Champions League run to the last game. So I don't know if we can even rotate. I don't. Do you feel Cucurella at left centre-back isn't a problem. Isn't a problem. But he was poor. He was very poor. Positionally, he wasn't aware in that game. Bailey cooked him. He cooked him. Slow cooked him. So, yeah, he's still a good left centre-back. Let's not even try and sugarcoat everything based off one game. Because we've been very impressed with him this season. But it was an uncharacteristically bad performance from him yesterday. Let's say get me a Brentford tie. I'm still looking for one, bruv. Let's be honest, he doesn't deserve to start. He doesn't, but Potter doesn't have favourites. If he did, he wouldn't have hooked him at halftime. So I'm not too fussed about it. I'm really not. Gallagher should be starting the next game. I would be very surprised if he is benched. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you'll see Gallagher, Pulisic, Brozier. That might actually be a good front three for us, and helps us rotate too. Might be. Has no one in the comments told me what he offers on the ball? There's no one to... Okay, so we got nada, highlight reels, might fail comps, stiff step overs. Yeah, he does offer us that. That's it. That's it. That's it. No one has anything. No one has anything. Diving and getting yellow cards non-stop. Yeah, he does offer that. Press resistant. What were you even waffling about? No. Anything? anything serious, by the way. Anything serious. Because people are just joking, but no one's telling me nothing. Anything? Anything? I will wait. I will wait. You know, got me a bit of nothing. A little bit of nothing. Both ain't really been great for us. Both ain't been great. That's a great balance on. I know where you got that from as well. You're a dickhead for that one. Slow step overs. Got that again. Shushing. Yeah, he's good at a good old shush. GQ picks. Would like some GNA instead of some GQ, but we move. Not passing the ball. More like losing the ball. Nothing. Nothing. Anything. Elite movement. But yeah, I don't even think his movement's that good anymore. One good flick a game. Yes, yeah, he is good for a flick that people will retweet and put on the timeline and say, oh, that was silky, wasn't it? That was brilliant. I tell you, there's a player in there somewhere, bruv. And then they'll make another fucking 10,000 word dissertation on how to get the best out of him and his elite positioning. There's still nothing. No, on the real, I think he has... What technique? Instead of a goal a month. Yeah, fair enough. Motivation for anyone to be a footballer. Yes, fair enough. Bruv, it's facts, bruv. Give me some GNA, man. You can get overdone by Mason Mount, who doesn't get any in 7 games, and then he goes and outdoes you in 2. It's mad. And there's nothing else. All right, cool. Well, that was very educational. Very educational. Anyone got anything else they want to bring up before I send the link out to the panel? Anyone got anything else? What, was he good as a striker? I don't think he was. Yeah, let me know what you guys are saying. Yeah, that was my mate Ben. He's a prick, but we move. Yeah, that's cool. Fuck it, let me throw the link out. Because I know there's certain panelists that are itching to get on here. Give me a sec, people, while I do this, as always. Hit the like button. Hit that like button, people. Ammo, completely agree. Down to 10 men. Maybe one of the panelists can tell me what he offers us. I'm really looking forward to that. Right, I'm going to start sending the link out. So, yeah, while I'm doing this and while it looks awkward for like a minute or two, please hit the like button. And yeah, try not to miss it. Like, oh, fuck, forgot to send to him. Anyone else? Cool, nearly done. Now there's a lot on Instagram. Have we 100 likes, by the way? 95. 5 more likes. Well, more than 5 likes, please. But 5 more to 100. So, yeah, hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. Cool. I think that is everybody. Yeah, that's everyone. All right, cool. Oh, there's a lot of people in here. All right. Cool. Oh, there's a lot of people in here. Oh, who's got their stream in the back? Cool. Yes, guys. Who's got their stream in the back? Yeah, it was OG. All right, cool. Right. Well, what's everyone saying? What's everybody saying? Thoughts on the game, people?
Big up, man.
Who wants
Big
to
up,
start?
panel.
Anyone wants to start?
We got
We were
3
saved
points
by
from a
Kepa.
poor performance.
Once. Cool. Daniel's in here as well. Yeah, Josh. What was your thoughts on the game? And anyone else stand out for you other than just Mount and Kepa?
I mean, I think it's good to get 3 points from a poor performance. That's probably a game, 6 months ago that we draw or maybe even lose. So that was good to see. Kepa, I mean, off the charts. I don't really know what else to say. He was absolutely fantastic yesterday. Yeah, man. There's not a ton of bright spots to really take from him. It was nice to see Mount get on the score sheet. I guess that's a positive. I will say the overall game was a 10 out of 10, but you can't really argue when someone gets 2 goals. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'll say on a positive note, Potter, I thought he made subs at the right time, and they were impactful subs, which is all you can really ask for from the manager, is to not wait and the guys that he brings on make an impact. And I thought that happened yesterday. Aside from that, we played a team that's playing for their manager right now, so it's always a bit of a danger when you're playing for a team that's trying not to get their manager sacked. But again, a 2-0 win in a game that a few months ago is probably not the outcome. So we just take the positive of the 3 points and move on. Not a lot of there's not a lot of bright spots to really take from that game, but 3 points is 3 points. It's a big win in that aspect.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like the performance was understandable with the amount of games that we have already played and already see coming up as well? Or do you think it's more something like, shit, it's our first game with a few injuries and we're playing like this? I'm a little bit worried about the next few games coming up.
A little bit of both.
Not really.
No, not really. No,
I do see the amount of games that we did play.
We fucking played 3 games after 2 weeks rest. Are you kidding me? Tired?
Yeah, we had enough. We had enough rest for that game. That's not an excuse. We had 4 or 5 days in between the game, so that can't really use that as an excuse.
It was Tuesday to Sunday.
I reckon
Sunday.
Yeah. I reckon the squad's a little bit grindy of trying to get through to the results. Maybe we're not.
I think what the lineup was doing. That's why.
Yeah. No question.
Maybe Potter,
I agree.
I think Potter's just doing a great job with a set of players that probably need a bit more injection in quality.
He's playing players out of position. That's what he's doing.
Well, you could argue 2
Hey,
could do the same
Did
thing.
that as well.
It is what it is. Yeah, you could argue. Yeah, but I think Kepa kept
Also,
the game.
him playing players out of position, it just means he learned they're not suitable for that position. Like after that game, we know that Chalobah's not a right back, that Cucurella is not a centre back in a back 4, and Kai Havertz isn't a footballer. So there you go.
I don't think it's at all I think the only player I think he got the wrong lineup. That's all.
Yeah, I think the lineup the way we set up is wrong.
The only player needs to be rested. It's probably the worst player on the pitch, which is
Sterling.
What's his name? Sterling.
Sterling was not the worst player on the pitch.
No, he wasn't. It was Kai Havertz.
There was the dude who got subbed off at half time because he was garbage.
Yeah,
garbage for about 3 years now.
Let me.
Go on, Alex.
Throughout the 90 minutes, Sterling was the worst. He played for the 90 minutes.
No, he was not.
Okay.
Chilwell was worse and Havertz was worse.
No, look, the whole.
He didn't play 90 minutes.
What I'm trying to say is, Kai Havertz was shit. Worst player on the pitch. I agree with you. That's why he was subbed. When after the second half, Sterling didn't improve. What's his name? Auba didn't improve. What I'm saying is the front 3 is still did not improve whatsoever. So for me, those 3 players they did not improve, and the only player who did not improve, been under the bad spell of pool was Sterling. So I think Sterling needed the rest, and I wanted him to rest because you can see he's tired. He's the only Chelsea player that played with every starting lineup pretty much.
Yeah. I actually think both of you guys are right. I think Scott's right in the fact that I think Potter's still kind of experimenting with some of these guys.
Yeah.
Like he's just there a few weeks, right? But that's something we have to take into account. And I think Alex is right. I think he got it wrong on a couple of positions. I would not have started Sterling.
Exactly.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was terrible.
Maybe that's why he was ruthless enough to make some changes at half time because he had no reaction to it.
That's a good sub. That's a good from the manager that he has the kahunas to change the generational talent at the half time. But the question is not it. The generational talent left, but we left with the same shit up top. That nothing can
I don't blame the front line when you've got a winger being played as a wing back for for a half that he's not a wing back, never will be a wing back, especially when the guy that's meant to be overlapping him or helping him again is not a right back.
I know what you're saying, and that's
your striker is having to drop to left wing back to pick the ball up because he's getting no service.
That happened after.
He's getting no service, so he's having to drop.
I know that, Scott. I know that
just to get the ball.
You put in a moment out of the game to prove your point. It's a moment in the game when he got in the left side. It's a moment. But that moment happened not because
he drop deep anyway, not even just to left, just drop deep to pick the ball up. How many times did you see us get the ball into Aubameyang in good areas? Never.
No. The ball to I think you're completely missing again. Aubameyang is not the first person on the front lineup to receive the ball from the midfield. He's not that movable to receive the ball from the midfield all the time. That's why you have Kai Havertz and Sterling. And those two, when they drop in the form, the main striker suffers. Do you understand how the game is actually played? That's why you're supposed to have a play in forwards and the ones that finish in forwards. That's why, what's his name? Like, seriously, how many touches does proper strikers makes? They make the final touches. The people around them makes the most touches. It's like your first time watching the game.
Wait, can I interject quickly?
My point is I'm not blaming Aubameyang for the performance yesterday.
I'm not blaming Aubameyang either.
Scott, would you have preferred to see Sterling or Aubameyang?
No, I said Sterling and Kai Havertz, one of the worst on the lineup.
Yeah, I wouldn't start either one of them.
I didn't say that, Uba.
Let's read the super chat.
Yeah, what was your point quickly before I read it?
I'll just say I think everyone wanted Aubameyang to stay on and Sterling to come off. Sterling needs more rest than Aubameyang would. Aubameyang doesn't run much and he would have probably scored that header. I prefer Sterling to get rested, and I know Sterling's a comeback. But yeah, let's just all be on the same page for that.
Yeah,
I really thought
I don't doubt Sterling. I'm just saying he looks like he's been the only player that played for too much for Chelsea. That's it.
Yeah, and he looks a little rusty too. I think Pulisic should have started. He had 0 minutes since that goal against Wolves. He scored against Wolves and he played 0 minutes since then.
Good for him.
So frustrating.
It's not about Pulisic. Why do we have tendency to put the players versus player? We need to face this. When you've been asking the question, what's the situation? What the result of this? Then we can talk. We cannot even agree on the thing that we did yesterday. You already bring Pulisic into the conversation. There's no need for it.
Because I think because Sterling should have been rested and Pulisic should have played instead of him because Pulisic hasn't played.
Well, you're saying Pulisic to play wing back. You're telling Pulisic to play wing back.
Not wing back, but I think
as a right wing back as well.
Formation yesterday
Fucking joke, man. Fucking joke.
No, it was a 16th place Aston Villa. I think we could have played a different formation. We didn't have to play that formation yesterday. I don't think so.
I forgot. I'm sorry, Andrew. One sentence. I'll shut up. From now on, Scott, you fucking not allowed to predict the games. Because every freaking time you predict the games with those, like, it's easy. It's easy to fucking apart.
I literally said it on the last stream. I said, last time I said this was Southampton, we saw what happened there, but we should win this. And we literally get played off the pitch. Bro,
I'm telling you, man. Shut your mouth from now on and don't rate any other bad teams, man.
You know what? I'm going to just predict we lose all the time. Then when we win, it just makes sense, doesn't it? You have to predict we lose.
That's it.
All right. Artem says Ben was poor again. Knee injuries take a while to return from. But with Maatsen having amazing season at Burnley, Chilwell's going to have to show at some point his old form, or he might have a dilemma this summer. Could potentially have one in the summer because even if he gets back to form, he has the best.
I just want to point out. Sorry, I just want to point out that every problem that Chilwell is currently showing has absolutely fuck all to do with his injury. All of the problems he is currently facing is the fact his decision making is not good enough, and more often than not, he slows the play down and passes backwards. He was doing that at Leicester. This is not an injury thing. This is a player problem. This is him as a player.
So you don't think it's a case of his game management not being the same because he's been out for so long?
No, because again, go and speak to Leicester fans. After the I think after the Milan game, the first one, there were Leicester fans retweeting a comp I saw about Chilwell about all the part, like every time he passed backwards, saying this is the same shit we saw at Leicester.
Yeah, but Leicester fans hate him, so I'm not surprised.
No, but it's the same shit, bro. It's the same stuff.
They want us to create an agenda, man.
Can I say something controversial? I might say something controversial. Chilwell was extremely poor. Thank you. No, he was Chilwell was extremely poor yesterday. I admit it, but I think Cucurella was honestly a little bit like worse, honestly.
I agree, but that's because again, he's not a centre back in a back four. Every time, most of the time when we defended in a 4 for like the first half of it, which was dumb. Because again, Chalobah's not a right back, and Cucurella is not a centre back in a back 4, and that's why I think we got it wrong. And I'll say this as well: I heard all this nonsense about Cucurella and Chilwell playing at the same time. They can't play together. Not in a system we want to play.
One game cannot be shown what like.
I'm going off what I saw, and the thing that I'm noticing with Chilwell is he does not want to push up high, which means that most of the good stuff you get from Cucurella in terms of when he's playing that left centre back, he wants to push high as well. You get two people occupying the same space because Chilwell won't push high enough into areas that a winger will, which means he'll pick up the same areas that Cucurella wants to pick up, which means Cucurella has to drop further back and you lose the... It's like this, the same sort of stuff we talked about with Kovacic and Kante, where it's like when Kovacic plays with Kante, more often than not, he's the deeper midfielder. You lose the best things about him. Same with Ruben. It's the same thing. They can do it, but you lose the best parts of him in that position.
I think it's a little bit misjudged based on one game. For me, it's a simple game of 3 positions. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it and saying it the same. If the front line does not hold the ball, that means the midfield is gonna be under pressure. If the midfield is under pressure and they don't hold on to the ball long, the defense is gonna be under pressure. And a defense was under pressure because the players in front of them, they have patches of the moments when they could hold the ball, and they had the patches of the moments what they did. Which those patches are more on losing the ball and get the counter. Every time, what's his name? Generational talent does not hold to the ball, and what's his name? And Sterling does not hold on to the ball or decide. It goes back on the midfield. You can't, like, for example, how many of you think that Kovacic had a good game?
No.
No.
He was decent.
It's a tricky.
He wasn't bad. He was decent-ish.
It's a tricky question.
I say at best he was okay.
It's same thing. For example, for me, it was they had good game if you look at like how score went. But if you dip into the game, one player, for example, when Robin Loftus-Cheek had a good moment, Kova did not have a good moment beside him. So it's not fluidly between them. When Kova have a good moment in this game, Robin Loftus-Cheek is out. Not in a proper position or anything. Or Man had significantly jumped in the quality in the game since the last couple of games, right? But those two, the ones that actually moved the ball to the front line, did not have that coherency between them in the good spell of games. Because we had the sometimes good spell of games, we didn't. When we had the good spell of games, those two are out of balance. That's why and the front two are out of balance. That's how if it wasn't synced. It wasn't. I can see what they tried to do. It just didn't work out. Same with Cucurella. He got stupid mistakes. I will say stupid mistake. He goes for the ball where he shouldn't go. He tries to reach for the ball where he actually should stood his ground. And I think because same thing with I know Chilwell has how you say it. Not confident enough to make those passes that Cucurella can make, right? Those passes. If you it's Chilwell, and you pass into Kai Havertz, and he doesn't hold the ball. The second time, Chilwell's gonna think, you know what? That generational talent does not hold the ball too long, so I'm gonna be more conservative. I'm not saying this is it, but it could be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought in the first half, I thought both wingbacks kind of let their corresponding center back down a little bit because neither one of them are really like guys who are going to like get back and cover and give that extra. Like if you watch like when Reece plays with Chalo, like they're both kind of in sync defensively. You're not going to get that with Sterling at right wing back, that awareness that you would get from James, which obviously I'm not saying you should expect that, but and then the same thing with Chilwell. Like I thought Cucurella, both the center backs were kind of on islands at some point in the first half.
Right.
I do think there was an issue connecting the ball to the forward line. Like I think Alex is right in that sense. Like, and I don't necessarily know if it was down to the system or just poor play, but like I don't know, if you look at some of the passing percentages in the front line, they weren't very good yesterday. Like I mean, like some of these guys were in the 70% range, which just isn't very good when you're talking about like connecting.
I would really love to know if anyone on the panel or anyone in the comments is able to find out how many times in 45 minutes Kai Havertz lost the ball. Like, I'd love to know. I completely agree with Alex. Damn near every single time he got the ball, he lost it. They looked like every time he got the ball, he lost it. He is a walking waste of space at this point. He brings nothing to this team.
Like, one of the worst signings we've ever had. I've been saying it.
Like, me and Andrew were talking about, and others were talking about this on the stream we did last night. If you look at like the players since Potter's come in, I'd say most of them look like they've improved. They look like they've taken on what Potter's said. They're adapting to the system. He looks like he's taken nothing on. He can't do the basics right. He literally can't do the basics right. He can't hold the ball up. He can't link up play effectively or consistently, and he can't get in good positions.
He's not a threat at all.
He is
all he is road running and dives.
I was going to say, we got everything Alex said as well about the losing the ball. We got on Werner for that because every time he got the ball, his touch or something would let him down, and we just be in transition all the time. It's the same thing. We're seeing the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, don't say too much though. He scored in Porto, and he should be grateful for it.
Yeah, like, he's gonna score.
It's just the fans. It's just the haters. It's just the haters.
That was so stupid. I think Josh made a good point. Like, a few minutes ago, there's like, I think Potter's still trying to figure out his best lineup, and he's trying to figure out solutions for like the best people in the right positions. So that's another thing. But I don't think Havertz should be. I think he should be dropped.
The other thing is, Potter knows this. He didn't play him in either of the Milan games. He took him off at halftime. One thing I'll say is, if it's terrible, he plays the full 90.
That's true. I'm almost at the stage where I get rid of him as soon as possible. Like, because I don't see the improvement. I don't see what he brings. Like, genuinely, like, come January, if we get a good enough offer, I'm talking 40 mil plus, just accept it. Just accept it.
I'd be less. I would take first Bayern if they come in.
We've got someone who is an adequate replacement as a number 9 who's shown he can literally score goals off the bench already and is showing confidence in his play. And if you want someone as like a link-up player between the striker and the midfield, Pulisic is in decent form, scored. You've got, I think Chukwuemeka could do that. He was doing that to an extent at Villa. I think he could do that. Like, just get rid of him at this point. He's got such, for me personally, it may be different for other people. Genuinely, he's got such a mountain to climb to fix my opinion of him at this point. Like, almost regardless of what he does for the rest of the season, I'd get rid of him.
Like, 1 or 2 games doesn't change anything for me. We have to deep. It's a £72 million striker. Well, player. Position, whatever position you want to say he plays in. I don't give a shit. He costs £72 million. And for what? It's already bad enough that we have one in goal that we're just trying to wish and beg into form. But we're not doing the same thing with another one.
When you see his Leverkusen highlights, you don't see any of this. He's like so much more fluid, nothing this and that. I wonder, did he lose the ball? Did he lose the ball this much?
And even in the Bundesliga, he still had the whole first half of the season ghost show.
Well, apparently he lost 4 times yesterday.
About the German MLS, man.
No, there's no way he lost the ball only 4 times.
Somebody said in the chat he only lost 4 times.
There's no way he lost
it's Chelsea Dan, so I'm not sure whether that's true or not. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the bum-
it's
Do you guys
horrendous
know
league.
if he lost the ball this much in Leverkusen? Like I never
He
watched
lost
this
the
play
ball.
that.
Hey, also he lost the ball 14 times before he was subbed. Just so you
14, not
It was
about
not
4.
times. The
It's
hell is
about
he talking
4.
about?
Hey,
Like
give Chelsea
14
Yeah.
Dan, give Chelsea Dan the credit. He might have typed in one, but didn't press it hard enough.
Nah, he ain't typing one. I know that guy, man. He ain't typing
I'm-
one.
The
no,
guy
no,
is
the
6'2"
Chelsea
and he
Dan's a
can't protect
Havertz
the ball.
fan, so I ain't surprised.
Know that guy, man. Come on.
14 times and a half, you know.
I'm pretty sure it was 14.
But
Fucking
this is my
hell, bro.
point. Like,
Hey,
I don't know
how
if
many
it's 14, but it
times-
How
was
does
pretty
this
high.
ballerina?
He just kills the attacks, and it's like, and this is where, like,
He's
this
so
is where you
slow on
can't
the
put the
ball.
blame. I know he didn't play yesterday, but you can't put the blame on the likes of Jorginho or Kovacic or Kante when he plays on Loftus-Cheek in terms of like, when you've got someone losing the ball 14 times, eventually a transition is going to happen that they cannot stop. Just logic dictates, like the law of averages dictates that you cannot stop all counterattacks, you cannot stop all transitions, and then there comes a point where you're relying on Kepa to make a triple save, or that header from the save, which was amazing, by the way. That header from the set, like that
I'm
save.
good.
Sorry.
Hey, that
Yeah,
was a
we're gonna
cool
speak.
check.
We're gonna
agree
speak
generally-
about.
Save.
I
We're
do
gonna
agree
speak
generally
about
about
I put
Kepa.
Gallagher
Havertz,
ahead of.
but
I put Gallagher ahead of.
I think we're doing. I think we're
um,
going a little too
Havertz.
far in the harsh criticism right now. Everybody knows. Listen, Shai Havertz, that's my saying, man. This guy's he's not really silky, none of that. But I think this game was more so down to Potter trying to figure out how to play without another playmaker in his team, which is Reece. That's the reality. We don't have a lot of playmakers in our team, and he's one of them. And he's trying to figure out how this works. The midfield wasn't working. A lot of things weren't working. And that's fine. When you have a major injury to a key player in the team, sometimes the next game is bad. It's poor because players don't know, you know what I mean, like how things are going to go. We got through it. We got the win. Let's see how the team like kind of picks up after this. Like everybody wasn't. Most of the team wasn't great. Like Sterling was poor.
Yeah.
Aubameyang was poor. Havertz was, Havertz. Like, you know what I mean? Like Chilwell for me is coming back from an ACL. Like we knew this.
Scott didn't.
I wouldn't have started him either yesterday.
No, Alex, I did know this because I remember in May about saying we need to go and get a
65
left wing
million
back,
on
and I got laughed
Cucurella
at.
because
Got
of
down.
this. So, it's like he's going to be poor. I know he's going to be poor for like 6 months. He shouldn't even be playing this much. It is what it is. Cucurella, I didn't expect him to.
Daniel, let me ask you something. Do you think that, for example, out of form Sterling and out of form Kai Havertz made the good bet as a playmaker? You see what I'm saying? Like, that Sterling wasn't great in the past couple of games. I mean,
audition failed.
Werner, like, huh?
Audition failed yesterday. If that was the goal to test.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, for example, I'm not saying Auba was bad. Auba, it was good, but he wasn't great either. Like the front three all was like negative, like all negative plays, and all three players.
But think about this, right? The front three was terrible, and the back three was terrible.
Yes,
because the midfield could not keep control whatsoever of the ball. Like when Thiago Silva, like the first half, I said that Thiago Silva was bad. Like they were all bad. Cucurella is bad. All of them were bad, and these aren't bad players. Like Cucurella is not a bad player, but he was channeling David Luiz. He was terrible. Like, and if all of them are terrible, when I know they're not bad players, then you have to look at the structure and how things were like working through the middle. RLC, the first half, he was so passive, very passive on the ball. You know what I mean? Like no impact whatsoever. He picked it up second half. Kovacic did it. I think Kovacic, he might need that surgery, but he can't get it. It's not possible right now. We just don't have anyone to step in and play on a consistent basis if he does get that surgery. Because his burst of pace, when he picks up the ball and he bursts out, he hasn't done that in like the whole season. He hasn't done that since because he just doesn't have it right now. So when Jorginho came in, and this is somebody I've criticized, maybe not so much recently, but things made sense a little bit more when he came in, when Gallagher came in. There was a little more structure to like the way that we played, and to me that's like the base of where like the disjointed flow of the game. Like Sterling, right wing back, he was getting cooked.
I think it was.
Oh my God, he was getting.
I think it was a little bit of at that time when Jorginho came, the pressing became a little softer. the Villa team is already starting to get tired.
Yeah,
So
we
they didn't press
at that
this.
point, but still,
No. I'm saying like there was a good timing for him to come. There was a good timing. It was a perfect timing.
I will say on a like a complete side note, and this is completely like not related, but why is it that like every game we face, like the last 3 managers, all 3 teams have taken off their best attacking threat against us? Like literally, you had Leao in the first AC Milan game, then Traore against Wolves, and now Bailey in this game. Like all 3 of them were their best attacking talent in the respective games, and the managers took them off. I don't understand, but anyway.
Bailey wasn't a threat. I think it was what's his.
He was their best threat. Like I'm not saying he was a massive threat, but he was their best threat that they had. And then
the best threat was Ings. Danny Ings was
Ings headers.
That
for me,
boy, man, I always rated
Things look good.
I always rated Ings, man.
That game yesterday was screaming for us to play like a natural winger in the game. Like that was one of my big like you can say whatever you want, but like I wanted Gallagher and Pulisic to start for Havertz and Sterling yesterday. I thought those 2 guys should have started in that game. But you could see like early on, especially down the left side, Havertz is not a winger. So if you're gonna play him, what he's going to do when you give him the ball is what he always does, was just stop, turn his back to the goal, and look for a pass or lay it off to somebody. Like he doesn't have that instinct to go create, take players on. He just doesn't have it. So like yesterday for the first half, I was like watching the game with my buddy, and we're like screaming like, fuck, we need a natural winger in this game because we have nobody who can get the ball and take somebody on or make a dribble to the end line or put a cross in. That's why I didn't think Alba was bad yesterday. I just didn't think he was involved in the game. There was nothing for him to do really. Like Sterling was playing so wide as a wing back. He wasn't really able to create or take anybody on or get the ball where he would like to get it. That's why at one point in the first half, Potter moved Ruben over to right wing back just to move Sterling to the left for a little bit to try to get him on the ball. But like for me yesterday, I just think it's simple. I just think Potter made a couple of mistakes in the lineup, and I think he'll learn from that now. He'll know like, okay, I can't really trust Kai Havertz, to be honest with you. I was disappointed. I thought like Pulisic, this is now the 2nd game in a row where he didn't play at all. He didn't play at all against Milan or this game, and all he's done is score. He has a goal and an assist in very limited minutes under Potter.
Maybe he asked Potter for his like on the chapter 2 book to like.
He hasn't finished the book. I just thought that was a little disappointing. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like again, this is a game where we did not play good and still won 2-0. Like. So you got to just be happy with the 3 points in a game like that. I don't think anybody thinks that we're winning that game 5 or 6 months ago. Like I just don't think we would have.
I think it was more down to Potter than it was.
I want to hear from Andrew because I can see Andrew pulling his hair out throughout the first 20 minutes of the stream. I just know. Please, everybody quiet. I want to hear Andrew because he pulls his hair every time somebody speaks.
Enough said on Havertz. I don't want to think about him because he makes me angry. I thought the second half it was more. I think Potter settled for a 1-0 scoreline. The way his subs came on
with the subs,
yeah. He compact the midfield. He left Raheem too long up front by himself for 30 minutes and only gave Broha about 8 minutes of game time, which I disagree with. I thought Broha should have come on a lot earlier. Ben Chilwell, I agree with Daniel at certain points that ACL is going to take time. I can't say that the ACL affects some of his decision making, but maybe that's to do with who's up there up front. Like you're not going to really. I don't really think we should if Kai and Oba are up there by themselves, I'd prefer our wing backs to just launch it up there. Havertz maybe try and do something with his head and Oba run onto it or something like that. But hey, someone said we wouldn't win it 5 or 6 months ago. We wouldn't win this game 5 or 6 weeks ago. 5 or 6 months ago.
Sure.
The result is all that matters. We win, we move on. And you know what? Kepa was man of the match yesterday.
Wow, man of the match.
Brilliant.
Man of the match.
That header and that low kick is
it was that save.
It was that save he did.
Matt's in a joy-gasm coma. So
he made a
I'm
season's
surprised you
worth
weren't the
of
first
highlights in that
person
first
here.
half.
He made a save like Peter Cech would have done.
I will say though, I know what
He has a 16 hours orgasm.
I know what Lewis said previously. Lewis said previously he wants to see Kepa tested. I don't want to see my goalkeeper tested that much in any.
Oh, he was tested. He was tested yesterday.
No, he was tested.
I get you.
He
passed the test.
was
But what I
tested
mean is I
still.
don't want him tested. And also, can I just say, I think Cobb has been protected far too much in this fan base. I think he's been the worst side of ass for a bunch of this season so far. I don't like the pivot of him and RLC sometimes. I think in some games they're near enough the same player in terms of what they want to do.
That's true.
And I just thought Gallagher, Jorginho came on and they just calmed things down. And I want to say big up for Mount but I like his first goal far more better than his second goal because the anticipation and just to get onto that ball and finish it was a great one. But we move, man. We move. 2-0 win, we get the points, another clean sheet, and we move. Brentford is going to be, I predict Brentford's going to be a very hard game midweek. Remember last season out there they battered us and we won 1-0.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Also, let me just make this clear because down the season I don't want to hear bullshit about this. Everybody who watched that game knows that if Mount didn't score, we wouldn't have won. It's that simple. So I don't want to hear, oh, this was the 15th team in the league. We were terrible, and his goal saved us. So don't tell me how it was the 15th team or the 18th team or whatever the fuck it was. Whatever team it was, we were playing terribly in that game, and he was clutch. Just give him his credit.
I don't care about the game specifically. I care about consistency, and he's been consistent. That's where he deserves the praise.
All I'm saying is, when you're clutch, I don't want to hear, "Oh, it was Newcastle or it was this team."
No, fuck all that. You need to do it against small teams.
Newcastle is a big team now.
I want to see Borja start against Brentford.
You guys aren't going to see Broha start.
I'm not saying more than that.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Wednesday.
It's certainly going to have to rotate. You're certainly going to have to rotate for Brentford now, though. I think especially with like Thiago. I think he was a little like by the end of that game, he was gassing a little bit towards the end of that game.
I think
obviously, I guess Koulibaly will probably obviously come back in. He was off some when he came on. I think you have to do some rotation in that Brentford game. Hopefully, it's one of those games where the guys who rotate in, prove their worth again. That'd be nice, like in the Wolves game. But yeah, I don't think you can run that same group right back out on Wednesday.
He might go to a back four and just pack.
Right.
You might see
especially what's United at the weekend too. So
if he takes in Sterling's performances on yesterday, there will be a rotation. I think Sterling's very tired.
Here's my thing about Sterling. Like,
he's so wasteful.
He hasn't been good the last 4 or 5 games in my opinion. But
I don't think he's mentally drained.
He also hasn't been like awful, So his level is so high that like even his poor games are still okay. But you need more from him. Like you just need more. Like he should have the goal where he hit the bar. He should have scored that. Let's be honest. He had a good look at.
Yeah. I think when I was saying that, that's why Andrew was pulling his hair out when I said Sterling wasn't playing well. He wasn't to his standard, but he's still not the level of like Timo Werner. So when people say Timo Werner, it's like you know what I'm saying. Like when you criticize the players, like it's for some reason it's like always it's like it must be completely either shot in the head or You see what I'm saying? Or,
I'm not saying he's dog shit or anything like that. He just hasn't been. He just hasn't been to the expectation.
He's mentally drained.
What was the hold up?
He doesn't look himself. That's all it is.
What was the hold up?
What
was the hold up of us to getting a right win back for the summer? What was the hold up?
Because it's really, really hard to find a high level right wing back that doesn't want to play that many games.
People in place to get it done.
When you have Reece James as your starting right back, whoever plays behind him is not going to play that much, bar injury.
Well, if you're a player,
we was interested in Dumfries.
No, I mean Jonathan Klaus didn't want to be a backup. He didn't want to be a backup to Reece.
No, he said he didn't want to play because he was trying to get in the French squad. That's why he didn't want to come to us. So You've either got you've got to really sell it, you know.
Fofana could play there if he wasn't injured.
I don't think he could play.
Right wing back.
He can do anything. He's a young, fast brother.
No, that doesn't matter.
Havertz is a young, fast brother.
No. Don't compare my brother to this German.
You just said a young, fast brother.
He's not a brother. He's a German, fam. You're talking about?
Okay.
He's a German.
Young. He's a young, fast ballerina.
There you go.
That's the thing. I don't think Fofana would be good at wing.
I mean, yesterday Kai was passing backwards, even though when he didn't lose the ball, he passed backwards. He didn't do any threat at all.
Every moment. Every moment.
Every moment. He had that one good play where he bought it off the guy, but that's it.
That's not the only thing that went wrong yesterday. Another thing, Aston Villa played well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not they played way better than they played throughout the beginning of the season. They did not look like a team. They did not look like a team that was not behind Stevie G. Because, like I said, it looks like Stevie G. They did not want to play behind him for the past couple of days. They just they look like they played better, and I don't think it's only because of us. I think there's a little bit of them on that too. They made us uncomfortable.
Shots. You know the difference was though. Last year when teams played against us, we called Resuscitation FC and they get the result.
They get a result against us.
This time it didn't happen for some reason. They just the goalkeeper just played out his skin in the first half.
I can see this match if this was previous.
Captain Pulisic, do not ever put those words that you think that I'm saying. I will never put ZH on the field.
He doesn't even make the bench anymore.
Mendy staying on the bench right now.
There's nothing about Mendy and Kepa conversation at this moment.
None. You don't bench a hot keeper like this by any means. So it is what it is. You can run your comparisons, but you never bench a hot hand like this.
That low hand.
No way, Mendy's getting down for that.
No way.
On the triple save.
Big.
That triple save has earned him another 6 months.
I'm saying in the first half he had a season's worth of highlight saves. I mean, at least 4 or 5 just great saves.
No. I'm saying we're not going 6 months, man. We're going game by game.
Yeah.
What are you talking about 6 months?
Yeah.
We're going game by game. Like if Kepa makes 2 shit games, he holding a bench.
Yeah.
Especially if it cost us really big as well.
Yeah. We like Coutinho came from the bench. That guy can shoot from the distance.
Don't get it twisted. If he makes a mistake that costs us points, I think he'll give Mendy his opportunity. But right now, you just don't even consider it.
That will be so.
I know, it's just
so fucking disrespected.
Competition.
That'll be worse than the African nations football.
They're both still ass, and we need a better.
Another player needs to be praised was Koulibaly. How he wouldn't come from the bench and just put the back.
The subs in general. Koulibaly, Jorginho, Gallagher, they all came in and they all helped us solidify in the second half.
Exactly.
Much better after the subs.
My theory was, I told Josh this, that I think because we don't have a lot of cover in centre back, is that he has to keep one on the bench just in case.
Especially in a 3.
Because tell me if he wants to play for the back, an actual centre, if one of Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, or Chalobah get injured,
there's no replacement.
You have to play Cooker at left wing back. Who do you play? Like, what's the cover? Not even like who plays there. Who's the cover?
You've put that.
I know you don't. There's no one that comes to mind. I read something and said, "Oh, we can drop Zakaria." Let's say, what are we doing, man? I mean, it's just there's no cover at the moment, and that's a scary thought.
Well, I would like eventually to see that Chukwuemeka. I would like to see Chukwuemeka.
I would have brought him on for Mount at about 80 minutes yesterday. I thought in the position Mount
was against his own team, his young player. I don't think he needs to boo.
But like in the position Mount was playing like in the second half, which was a little bit more aggressive, like in the middle of the pitch. Like I thought he could have came on and done okay there, like towards the end of the game. We weren't really asking. We wouldn't have been asking much of him to
I was
defensively.
More like, I was actually thinking again, like why Broja comes in 82nd minute.
87. It's 87.
He came on the line in 82nd. By the time ball get out, it was 87. I'm waiting for the guy to come in because that defender isn't good. That defender is not good.
You got 7.5 minutes to make an impact.
Listen, man. I know I'm the rogue American on Twitter, but I think Pulisic should have gotten some minutes, man.
No question.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're correct.
He should have started. He should start on
Wednesday. Everyone's talking. Everyone's talking. Literally everyone was.
He was right.
My point, I'm just going to say before you guys do, if he starts the next game, I'm fine with it. If he starts Brentford. If he doesn't start, then there's a big question. But
the question is, at that point, the question is,
if Sterling starting, that's when my question is.
Yeah, if he doesn't start, the question is, what are you looking for from him? Because all he's done is produce a goal and an assist in his limited time under you. So I don't,
let's see some rotation. We need to see some rotation.
It's not about the rotation because you
fresh legs.
Rotation.
Fresh legs, fresh mind.
You can see Sterling is mental.
I think he's mentally drained. I think he's just mentally drained.
I think he's not happy because Tuchel the reason he came. I think that's the reason.
Ooh, you reckon?
Tuchel played the big part in him coming to Chelsea. Yeah. I promise you.
Okay, true. But I think these guys are professional enough to know that this industry
that's my conspiracy theory, but I think that because that's when he didn't. I don't know, man.
That's strange because the rest of the guys look like they're happy to left.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I will say, Alex, given the circumstances of why, given the circumstances of how Tuchel left and why he left, I don't know that he had a big hand in really anybody coming this. Like he may have made one or two calls, but
Sterling said it himself that he talked to.
They talked, no question, they talked, but I think it doesn't sound like he talked to many guys this summer. Like maybe Sterling's one of the main ones that they wanted, so he talked to him, but.
I think he was talking to him way before the official shift of the ownership actually went. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Bowley was already into it when he came in. I think it was like agreement before that.
I just think we were just needed a natural winger in the game yesterday. Like we were really missing that kind of a player in that system. It was Chilwell's like. Yeah, he's playing, but the guy in front of him is Havertz, and Havertz doesn't like to necessarily be that forward. He was coming back more towards the midfield to get the ball, so it wasn't a lot of there weren't a lot of passing options for Chilwell in that scenario. It's like just give it to Kai. He's right next to me. Like
I think I remember that moment when he hit the post.
Yeah.
Why Auba let it for him? Why Auba didn't take a first time shot like he did it before? Take away from Sterling.
Nah, it was the right move. It was the right move.
It was?
I thought the ball just came a bit too fast.
Sterling had a couple choices. He should have buried that, but Chilwell was also coming on his left side that he could have passed it to.
No. I haven't watched the replay. I haven't watched the game again, so I can talk. But I remember the first time I watched, he had the chance to bury it from the first time.
He could have hit it first time, but I think there was like a defender in front of him. So it was just a smarter move to let Sterling have it.
I reckon Sterling asked him in the back rim. I beg you hook me up with a goal today.
No.
Because Aubameyang usually finishes though.
Watch the replay. There's a defender closer to Aubameyang.
What are you saying, OG?
Why Sterling didn't hit it first time then? Why Sterling didn't hit it first time then?
I don't know.
He's low on confidence, brother. You know what's funny? Yeah, he's back in London.
I'd rather he took the touch. Like that was fine. It was just an unlucky finish. Hit the bar.
Hit the bar. The chef scored. I know. But the fact that he's back in London means 100 more things can happen than when he was up in Manny's dead, cold, dark. You don't do nothing there. He's back in the ends. Like, he's got 21 gal. I saw he has baby mamas, and he's from the ends, North East.
What are
you talking about, man?
He's much more distracted in London than he was in Manchester.
Sneaky links in Manchester.
He was, but in Manchester, you know what I'm saying? He was more
regular parties, the same old stuff. It don't mean
he was at a party animal in Manchester like he was in London when he was up.
How do you know?
Instagram.
There was more to celebrate in Manchester. He was winning every year.
I tell you the truth, he's not actually been that much of the party person in the last 3-4 years.
After seeing him and his wife and kids.
He's like 27, 28 now. It's like
he overgrew that. Watch that other guy that looked like a freaking prisoner of Alcatraz. What's his name? That young guy, the white boy from Manchester City.
Oh, Foden.
Watch that freaking freak of
Grealish.
Freak of nature, man. What the
lockdown.
No, we actually have a nickname for those kind of people who have like a straight haircut like that and the short pants that goes like that. They call them parents who don't pay alimony. Oh, how you say it? Alimony.
Right,
Yeah,
give me
those are the prison. I swear, man, that guy is so ugly. I don't even know what kind of. Fuck
you know. Right, let me go for a few of these. Autumn says, now Scar has a point. I'm giving Ben benefit of the doubt, but I tweeted yesterday. It felt like we had Alonso playing at left wing back. Nothing but back passes. I have to say, you got to give Chilwell a bit of time. At the very least, he's not a number one left wing back, so I don't mind.
That's fine, but then I said this before. If it's a case that we got to give him time, he's recovering from an injury. Man shouldn't be starting. Man just flat out should not be starting.
He's not starting because of rotation. I think in our strongest 11, he doesn't start.
Well, he didn't.
But then he shouldn't be playing 90 minutes yesterday. This is my point: is the whole thing with injury, I will accept, and like I don't think it's the case, but I'll listen to. Then he shouldn't be starting, and he shouldn't be completing games because Kovacic is injured or recovering from an injury, and he doesn't complete games, and he doesn't start.
You know what it is? Because we know
it's a mental.
We're not in a situation where we're not. You're going to need him, right? So if you can, I think the way the game was going, he just thought, you know what, let me just give him these minutes. He's not going to play well. I think we kind of know that. Unfortunately, Cucurella wasn't playing well either. I think if he was playing well, they would have subbed Chilwell out. Mm-hmm. But since both of them were playing horribly, it's like you might as well get the minutes.
And I think the reason what you're saying, it's not true because of the injury, because the injury is not about the physical ability. The injury, it's what the mental block. You're so afraid. It's so fresh. Like, for example, he doesn't have a pain. He doesn't have nothing. But the certain moves that you do that reminds you that what pain you went through last season, it will affect you. It's a mental block. It's not the physical, like he cannot do certain things. It's not because he can't. It's because it's blocking him from it's literally sometimes your brain just stops you from doing it. There's two kinds of people: the ones that fly or fight. You know those two situations in life. Your brain
fly or fly. Yeah, I know them ones there.
So if your brain saying you're running, you already it's it. You do whatever you want, but you're running. The other guys is fighting. So it depends which way he's mental. You can pass out literally from mental block. The guy is just, I don't think it's physical. I think it's mental. It's like any injuries. It's mental.
That's why we've seen it with like the likes of Ruben and like if you want to go further back, Ramsey when he came back from the leg break and everything. That's why I think I will give Chilwell the time to see if he can come back and become the player he used to be. Even though it will be frustrating. Like it's just what happens when you have those sorts of injuries. You have to deal with it. At the very least, we've recovered well. We've brought in a good replacement. He gets even more time and patience as a result of that for me. It's just because we have to rotate at this point.
Yeah, he was one of the more surprising starts for me, to be honest with you. I thought Cucurella would have started at wing back yesterday, and obviously Koulibaly would have continued to play like he's been playing. Chilwell, for me, hasn't really rotated that much. He started Milan. I think he started the Premier League game before that too. So that was a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't know. I think he's just again Potter. I think maybe like in his attempt to figure stuff out, just missed a few spots yesterday. That's all.
Tricky you says still knows Zakaria or Pulisic starting. Like, why? Pulisic we did go through. If he starts the next game, it's fine. Zakaria does. I don't know why.
He's never playing for this club.
You know why?
I don't know why. I don't know why. And I don't want to hear because Potter's not Potter's signing.
If his loan
is never touching a blade of grass for a professional in a professional game for Chelsea Football Club.
Why?
Unless
I've got a conspiracy theory.
I think it's the loan part. They tried to get rid of him in January, so maybe they try. If he doesn't get certain amount of games, that means that he can go in January instead of summer.
They got fatter as well. Yeah,
there's no conspiracy.
I heard that.
And you ask why. So you ask why? Because if there was a chance of him starting, he would not. He would be making the bench number one on a regular occasion, not just when we've got no other option. And in Champions League games, so we've got 12 subs, and he would actually be like spoken about most of the time. Like he's almost like a ghost at this point, not because like
did he break down with someone did he talk bad to someone in the
he's
training?
He's just not. Number one, he's not a Potter signing. Number two, as I've said before, by his own admission, he's an 8, which means he's behind Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, Kante when he gets back fit, whenever that may be. He's behind Carney at this point. Like he's behind Mount because Mount's an 8. He's behind all of these dudes.
At least Carabao Cup, man. Let's see this.
And the Pulisic thing, like, yeah, fair enough, he scored, but like we need to see more. He needs to. I need to see him take.
And
but I need to see that on multiple occasions to the point where like you can't deny he deserves the start. Like doing it in one game is cool. Do that in the limited opportunities you might get now, like for the next 3-4 games. Then I'll have to hold my hands up and go, cool, you now deserve to be starting a run of games. You have one good game.
That requires minutes though too, Scott.
But that's fine. But like when he plays, then it can't be a case of he'll have a good game here and then go missing for 2 and then have a good game here. No, it has to be a run of games. Like when he gets the minutes, because it was the same with Gallagher. Gallagher got given the minutes. It was limited minutes in certain places, but the minutes showed what he could do, and now he's playing more.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I could argue like under Potter, I think Christian's shown that he's got a goal and assist in very limited minutes under Potter, and honestly, I was very surprised he didn't play yesterday. That being said, it is what it is. Like, if he'll get a chance, he'll get a chance. Like, as far as the Zakaria goes, I think you nailed it spot on. Like, nobody going into the end of the window thought our midfield was going to play well. They've all pretty much played well for each to a man. I think most of the midfielders have played pretty good this season, and there's just not really a spot for him to get into the team right now. It's just the way it's worked. Yeah. If Ruben wasn't playing good, if Jorginho wasn't playing good, if Kovacic, if those guys weren't playing good, he might get a look. But they're all playing. Like, you can say what you want about Ruben, but I thought yesterday he was awesome again. Like, he passed the ball great. He carried the ball great. He was the most fouled player on the pitch. He progressed the ball. Like, they didn't necessarily have a great link up into the forward line, but I think that was more of a formation issue.
There's 2 that was nice though. So
he was really good again yesterday. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, there's just no spot for him right now. I mean,
Josh, you're right, man. And then honestly, a few minutes ago, you said it again. We need a touchline winger. Honestly, like you said, like you look at Bailey on the other side. He was, cutting in. That one Chilwell where he drove past Chilwell and crossed it in. We thought that was going to be Ziyech, but Ziyech wasn't like that. And don't blame me for bringing up Pulisic again, but Pulisic is that guy, the touchline winger that's supposed to do that. I know he's out of form a little bit, but we could give it a gamble. I mean, I'm not trying to, just because I live in America, I'm not trying to big him up. I think Pulisic should actually play a little bit more. Especially
you're not wrong, bro. He should be at least starting a few games.
Especially against weaker teams. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Brentford, Carabao Cup's coming. Want to see a bit more rotation and get some guys rested,
Is the Carabao Cup the Wednesday or?
I think is it this
November? That's next month. That's next month.
Why are you confusing my head, man?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was at the end of this month, as well.
No, November 8th or 9th. It's the Man City game away.
It's the 9th, yeah.
Yep. You won't
I was going to say we got 6 games between then and now.
Yeah, something like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 6. That's our 7th game. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Carabao Cup. We've got Arsenal and United to play in between that, and both Champions League games. Couldn't give a fuck about the Carabao Cup right now.
The thing is, though, beat Salzburg, we've won the group essentially. So
have we definitely won it, or we just
we need to expect results from elsewhere?
It all depends really on if we take it. Milan should beat Zagreb, or at least draw. Then we'll win it that way. It depends really. We'll definitely qualify, which means that we can in the last group we can do some more rotation in the last group game. So so that should be good as well.
That's true.
I think we should concentrate on Premier League as much as possible right now.
I agree.
Yeah, if we win our game in hand, we're 1 point behind City. So we're right there. Everything's right there.
Yeah, we just have to beat Arsenal in our game. We beat Arsenal.
Yeah, well,
that's one fixture I want us to stand up. I really want us to stand up for that.
I still think Liverpool is not what we did. I just think the system matched against City. We always match. If you play against a City with a really brilliant what's the name? Counter-attacking style against City with the players like Salah and the counter-attacking, that's the best his ability is in transition. So I don't think that what Liverpool made, what Liverpool showed yesterday, it didn't change my mind about Liverpool whatsoever, because I knew we can get the point, we can get the result from Manchester City because the styles are matching on a counter-attack. That's why. The same thing it will be with Arsenal. Yesterday, Arsenal should have lost, but they pulled it through. That's why I'm saying like this. There's really something going on, something boiling there. I'm not gonna.
I hate to say it. That's the sign of champions. Winning when you've played.
Let
me just say now, they're not winning. It's 100% for me still City's to win. I'm telling you now. They're a serious team, and they are locked on.
Especially with that pressing. Leeds gave them pressing, and they're still resilient.
Yeah. Leeds were unlucky not to get a result from that game, though. That's they should have missed their penalty.
I don't know what Jesse Marsh is feeding those guys. Those guys are running. Those guys are 90.
I'll say this about Arsenal. To me, it's an 11-man team. They don't go deeper than 11. Like their bench is horrendous. Their bench sucks, and they haven't been tested as far as like playing a certain amount of games yet this season. Like, so for me, it's just, and who have they played in the league yet? Like
Liverpool,
one decent team.
United. Yeah.
Did they play Tottenham? Spurs didn't play Tottenham.
United.
No, they United.
We can say who have they played. They still got to beat them, and like. They're clear. They're top of the table for a reason, and I said it. I don't think they're going to win the league, but they're a serious team.
I think
I don't want them to win it.
For me, I'll say it now. For me, they're one of only 2 guarantees I have for top 4. Them and City are the only 2 guarantees. Maybe us as well. A guarantee top 4.
I don't think Spurs can suffice them.
I can't guarantee Liverpool.
Spurs aren't playing sustainable football.
No, they're not.
Hey, what about? Hold on a second. What happened? I thought Kante played amazing football.
No, he doesn't. He never has done.
That's my thing. That's my thing. Like when people saying like, "Oh, we played amazingly against Kante," do people forget how dreadful?
It's effective.
We just had good
second half of the season Conte for us. I mean, second season Conte was crap.
Even the first season, man.
No,
I'm talking about the result. No, I'm not talking about the results.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the game.
You can't say we played poorly first season under Conte.
No. I think what he means is it's not aesthetically pleasing to watch. It's effective. It's effective. It's not good to watch.
Well, I'll say Tottenham, like right now, they look worse than they did towards the end of last season. So that I agree with. But I think Conte's first season for us, we played really good football.
Exactly. Exactly. Remember who Kante had? Hazard. What's his name? Fabregas. And what's his name? And the Beast. Costa. So what the? There was a game even then was dreadful.
We had a better season out of Pedro and Fabregas in that first season than we did in the second. Like the second season, the football was terrible. I completely agree. First season, I thought
Hazard wasn't it.
Our first
Hazard
game
wasn't
of the
it in
second
that
season.
season.
I knew we was done for. We drew against
the first season.
Stamford Bridge.
First season?
First season with Kante. I don't think Havertz was the main player.
Wait.
I don't think he was the main player for us to win that league. I think it was
16-17.
The one we won the league.
Then? Yeah, with Conte.
I think it was more about Fabregas and
it was.
What's his name?
Fabregas was on the bench half the season though.
Who?
No, that 16-17.
16-17, our main pivot was Kante and Matic. Fabregas was on the bench most games.
I think he means 14-15.
If you mean 14-15, how's he won player of the season that year?
At first, it wasn't working for Conte though. It wasn't working for him at first, and then he changed something.
That's like 5 games and like whatever. He came in, like figured out what was best for his team. We won the league.
That was before we went bad
that first season.
Yeah, I messed up. It was the different year. But what I'm trying to say was, it wasn't. He has the same. He has the same pretty much player front three, like really good front three.
Yeah, but that was the 1 game a week thing and everything. And that did play into our advantage in the way that we played as well.
But I'm saying is, like, if you see how Tata can play right now, this is exactly how he played the first year. Boring. It was boring.
If this is like second season Conte, I'd agree with you on that.
I will say.
I think first season, I think we won the games, but it was not easy to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. This type of football
maybe
isn't
the second half of the season, but for like majorities, we were playing well. I think we only.
I will say though,
when we went on that undefeated thing, like 9-game undefeated, how many games we won with statement?
Most of them.
None.
Yeah.
No.
So
we won.
We go game by game. Okay. Hull, like that was our first win, like 2-1, didn't really play well. Then we had Leicester, we beat them 3-0. United, we beat them 4-0. Southampton, we beat them 2-0. Everton, we beat 5-0 in what was seen as one of the
away
in the history.
That was away.
Those are Premier League games, or
that
those
are
are
that was at home.
Oh,
those are Premier League games. Are you talking about our old games?
Then Tottenham, our closest challenges that season, we beat them 2-1. Like, it was Tottenham, and that was actually a good Spurs side. And all the other games after that, we can't say we didn't play convincingly in that run.
I just don't remember we playing that. Like, I just don't.
Second half of the season, we ground out a lot
dreadful
more games.
To watch.
We ground out a lot more games.
1-2, bam. 1-2, 1-2, bam.
I do get Alex's point, but that's just because I think generally, like defensive managers like Conte, like Simeone, like Mourinho, how he has got like how he was like
Mourinho. Mourinho
utilized. I mean, later in his career, not at the start.
Yeah.
Not at the start, like later in his career, after the Real Madrid stuff, because Real Madrid fucked him. But defensive managers like that, that's just how it is. Like, it's effective results. It's just not pleasing to watch. That's why that type of football is unsustainable, because as soon as you get figured out and you don't have a way to combat it, then all of a sudden you lose the one thing that's good about that football, and that's the results.
I think rock and roll system is not sustainable either.
No, I agree. Like the way that, well, no, it is, but it's a lot of turnover. You need a lot of turnover, and if you've not got,
that's what I mean.
If you've got a club that isn't willing to do a lot of turnover, then it's not sustainable. But yeah, that's
what Liverpool facing right now
with the defensive manager thing. That's why look what's happened with Simeone at the minute at Atletico. They've now reached a point where they can't play this defensive football all the time, because sometimes they're the better team and they need to be on the front foot and they can't do it because they just can't do it. Like there is a ceiling to it. Like sooner or later, the players get sick of playing that way. The fans get sick of seeing it, especially when the results go. It's not sustainable. Like
what I'm saying is with Kante, I remember with Kante is, what do you do when our team does not play a possession game either?
Yeah,
and the Kante team does not know how to do it, because when you make those run, it's not there. Defense has already set it up. You playing you trying to expose the other team under Kante with players like what's his face, Son. Son is perfect for that, because the way he's moving, it's first of all, I think Son is one of the best. I really rate Son, but I don't gonna say that to a Tottenham fan, but the kid is really good, and he can play any kinds of system.
Take care,
any
Joe.
kinds. You see what I'm saying? So for
Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
For me,
Take care.
The
Bro.
way he, especially
Thank
the way
you.
he's when he runs at the players. The way he runs at the players, it's.
Son's got good directness. I like his directness.
Yeah.
He's very direct. And he's
I don't know how I feel about him as a player.
No, Son's good.
The what?
Man. Son's good.
I said I don't know how I feel about him as a player.
I feel sorry for him now. I feel sorry for him now. We're playing under this.
If any of you watched the Manchester United when they had that, what's that Asian guy from?
Jason Park.
My God, that guy is
He was underrated.
My uni,
he was
so
underrated.
He was so underrated. People misunderstand
how much him in this generation.
How much part he played in those times when they won the league.
The counter attack.
Such like him and Carrick.
What was it they called him?
Do you not reckon?
Yeah,
Malouda was underrated at Chelsea? You reckon Malouda was underrated? Malouda.
I like Malouda.
Yeah,
Malouda. I tell you who I think was.
He played a little too late.
I tell you who I think was underrated, not because I think people underrated him in terms of like I think he would be rated more now in this generation is Joe Cole. I think people would appreciate him more now than I think they did.
I thought we'll win the World Cup because of Joe Cole in 2006. I said there was no problem. You have Joe Cole in your team.
You will never win the.
You got the English Ronaldinho. You ain't got no
the managers that you had.
Was I wrong?
Yeah,
I used to fan over Joe.
I will tell. I want to tell you something, and I will get cooked. And I will ask everybody a question right now, right here. I love Belletti. Thanks, viewer. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. But and I'll genuinely ask the question: what opposite? You know, like people like such an underrated Chelsea player. What about you secretly do not rate the player that everybody's hyped? For me, I'll go first. No, I'll let somebody because I know it's gonna be about me. I will like to go one by one.
For me, it was Havertz, but now everyone's turn, so I don't know. William? No,
no one ever rated him really.
Shevchenko.
No one rated
Nobody rated him.
Yes, before he come in.
Is this
before he come in?
Is this Chelsea?
Yeah, you know who I didn't rate that everyone loved? Kesman.
It doesn't matter actually. Chelsea, not Chelsea. But I thought if you will say Chelsea, you will get more heat from Chelsea fans.
You mean underrated? Who
No.
was underrated?
No, he's talking about a player that.
But you didn't. Rate
So he's talking about a player that everyone rates, but you personally did not rate like that. Like you didn't see like that.
I'll let you know mine, and I'll ready for disappear from here. So. Here we go.
Go on.
I never rated Michael Ballack at Chelsea, so.
Hey, that's not a bad shout. No, that's not a bad shout.
That's
not a bad shout.
I never started. I never. I think he was better at Germany, but I never rated.
Oh, he was, but that's because he was in the when he joined us, he was at the end of towards the end of his career.
But people
Alex in the comments, Oscar. That's a good shout, Oscar. Everyone rated Oscar, and I was like,
that's not a bad shout, to be fair.
That's not a bad shout. Mine was
Mata.
I'm gonna pull.
Sorry, I take Mata back. His current form.
Slandering me. What do you mean?
I was going to say, I'm taking.
I was the craziest one. My name is Ballack.
I was going to say, I'm taking Mata back in his current form at 34, whatever he is right now. That's how fucking good he was. That's how good he is.
He was on Santi Cazorla. He was the guy that made it happen.
I was like, Mata, bro.
Yeah, no. But mine was Ramirez. It would be unpopular. Mine was Ramirez.
I love Ramirez.
Apart from his goal. Again,
no.
I didn't see it.
Ramirez, no. Ramirez, that's a bit of a shout, you know.
I didn't see it.
A bit of a shout. He had good game. When he was bad, he was a bum. When he was bad,
I felt Mikel could do his job, or Raul Morelos could do his job. Even Raul Morelos, what did he bring?
I tell you what, that's someone actually I haven't appreciated until later in life is Mikel. Like I never rated him to begin with.
When they was playing
him. Yeah, I've appreciated him a lot more later on. The more that I've kind of taken
you see it now. Yeah, it's now you'll see it. I know what you mean, bro. I see it now.
I know. I always rated Mikel. I thought it was he's as a center back. he's the best thing as like deep midfielder.
There's another one that was just before his time. You could say that about Luis, to be fair, even though Luis had moments. You had definitely his bozo moments for us, but if he was around in this generation, I think he's respected a lot more.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think people would be able to see like what he brings in terms of the ball playing ability. Like he was literally a couple years too early for that. Like,
we weren't appreciated then.
I heard one commentator said he shouldn't be playing in centre. I don't know.
Because you see how so many teams do free at the back right now. We had our best season with Luis 16-17 in the middle.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about Mikel? People assume that he cannot play those expensive passes and everything. He actually can. It was actual designed by manager saying, no, you not the one they're gonna be. Let other players like Lampard and Ballack go up and make those expensive players. It's not because he couldn't. At the end of the day, he was actually number 10 for Nigeria.
Oh, God bless you, Alex. God bless you.
Man, he's one of my favorite Chelsea players always, man.
Fight his whole career, man.
I mean,
I could have gone to another club and been looked at differently.
He was actually almost signed for Man United.
Yeah, United wanted him.
He had the shirt, my bro. He had the shirt.
And I mean, he still said, to be fair, to this day, he's always still said that he absolutely made the right choice in joining Chelsea. Like he said, he's glad he didn't make any other choice.
God bless him.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? When he was so unpopular player when he was playing, Chelsea fans up like side pass merchant.
Just to say, seen that for the super chat as well. Yeah, we'll wait till see if Arsenal come back from a few injuries as well. That'll be the last test. But yeah, sorry, just because I missed the super chat.
But can you imagine Mikel type of player right now and that Chelsea?
Oh my God! Oh my!
It'll be like the physical Jorginho everyone's wanted.
Right, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we had an SCN type player in midfield? SCN might be SCN is one of my favorite ever Chelsea players. Like he's in my top 3.
I'm always it's between Mikel and what's his name? What's his name? The forward, the one that left early in 1 year. What's his name? Hasselbeck. Those two are my favorite players. I used to John Terry, but John Terry kind of.
Essien used to go in on tackles.
John Terry's one of those players. Like I can respect how good he was, but he's not in my top 3 favorite Chelsea players. Like I can respect how good he was, but I
don't speak on.
Can you bring Super Tama Tuchel comment for me, please?
Yeah, big up Cenac as well. I don't think they'll go injury free, but yeah,
we won't. I still think they're going to be top 5, top 4, whatever.
Yeah, top 4 they should get. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. But yeah, was this the comment you wanted?
Yeah,
but they can't win. They can't win the league. Oh
if
my
you
God,
say like, if he. I'm not saying I don't have a problem with what people like. If you think that he's a new age Mikel, this is so wrong on so many levels. If you never watched Mikel, just say no. But if you think that this is it, it's not. Just please watch how he put in a split Barcelona those 2 games.
Just watch the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. Just watch that.
I think he was best is actually against Barcelona. We were not as much on the threat with what's his name, and the Bundesliga in final as much as we and because
the new camp.
That's do you know who was at Barcelona at that time?
Yeah.
That was the best. That was the best. That was the best Barcelona player supposedly. It was Messi there. It was Iniesta there. It was Xavi there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of them could not pass. That guy is like that guy from what's his name? From the Lord of the Rings. You should not pass.
I don't watch it, but I get the reference.
I love Mikel, man. I love
Martin says Cahill was very overrated. No, not really. It's just his decline was very clear, and we kept.
I would say he's actually more underrated than overrated.
Yeah, because Cahill had a very, very good spell. And people don't really speak about too much. But like the thing I think with people saying Cahill being overrated because his last few years there was a very rapid decline, and he was still playing regularly. So it's what people remember more of. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm saying Malouda was. I think Malouda's rated fair enough. To be fair,
I think he came too late. I think he came too late. I think he came too late too.
Yeah, but like people don't look down on him and think he's crap or anything. I think he gets given a fair rep. Jeremy, another one who doesn't get spoken about a lot.
Oh my
God,
a good
free kick
merchant.
Very good squad
He's a very good free kick merchant, Jeremy. Like 9 out of 10 free kicks, that's going at the back of the net. Jeremy,
I like Dan
Petrescu. I just remember him scoring one against West Ham.
Dan Petrescu was underrated too. Massive player for Chelsea.
Well, way before my time, but I know he's the one who first brought technical ability to the bridge around the 90s. I remember hearing a story about how he was the first player who would take the ball down from a goal kick instead of just hoofing it forward. And there's a little things like that stood out back at that time. But yeah, way before me. Way before me.
Shit,
we are going to run up
remember that
end
one.
The street. Wait, go on.
You remember that goal against Tottenham? Left foot, top corner. I can't remember his name, man.
Jeremy.
No, not Jeremy. I can't remember his name. Left foot,
Matic.
corner, man.
Matic in the Wembley.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. Alonso.
Ziyech, are you talking about Ziyech, you fraud?
The goal. The goal. The goal. The fucking goal.
Thanks for having me on again, man. Big up you guys. Alex, big up
right.
yourself.
Yeah, with that, big up yourself. We're going to wrap up the stream anyway. Check out Johnny's stream at 7 because he actually wants to be on this time.
If you think Busquets is not physical, and you compare it to him, what now? Busquets was physical when he was playing in Mikel time. Don't compare, man.
Yeah,
Busquets to Jorginho, man. Do not, please do not compare.
Especially if you're talking about prime, like
that guy knows how to put his body. That guy's actually physical, man.
Busquets
Don't
was
look at him now. Like that's laughable.
No, can't do that. But guys, we're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna be on Johnny's stream tonight because he wants to have a Mason Mount debate. So we'll have a conversation. Well. Yeah. Now he wants me on. But cool. We'll talk. I look forward to it. And yeah, check it out. So big up everyone.